What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Aatrox, and we're back with another video. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about Code Vein 2. So this is not really a professional review. This is just like something to shoot some thoughts off that I had about the game after beating it. So I'm in New Game Plus right now, and I kind of wanted to make a video about it. Not particularly good at making these reviews. Obviously, this is my first one I'm doing for the channel, but I want to try something a little different. And I've been having a lot of fun with Code Vein. So I've had Code Vein 2 since probably Monday. I've been playing it, so I pre-ordered it, so I was able to get early access to it. But I kind of just want to talk about like the gameplay in itself, and just like I had some notes on the side where I just quickly want to shoot off and just like get some thoughts out there, and just kind of know yours as well as you playing through the game. So I've had a lot of fun with the game, honestly, more fun than I thought I was gonna have, because like obviously like when you have a game sequel come out 9 years after the original one, it could go either, it can be really good or really bad. Luckily this was actually really good for me in particular. I don't know, there's a lot of mixed reviews out there. I'm not paid by the game company. I'm not paid by Bandai or anything like that. Obviously I'm a small channel. I just want to fire off like why I think I really enjoyed this game. Like honestly, the character development in this game, it feels like it's far better than the first one, and like I'm really glad that they kind of didn't mess that part up, because like I really like the connections you have with the characters and like their backstories, and I feel like this game kind of topples that, because in the first one you only get like 3 vestiges for each character. Some characters have so many incursions, or incursions is like the new way of doing the memory thing that they had from the first game. And like honestly, I really just enjoyed watching those incursions, because like this is probably like one of my favorite things to do in the actual game, is to look at those memories, and like you just see some of the characters have really tragic backstories, and it's just awesome to see how they interact with their memories being seen, or even the memories of other people that they never seen. So I thought that was like a cool little aspect of just kind of like implementing the memory thing from the first game. So, and one thing like I really do like, just kind of going more with the gameplay, it's like the open worldness to this game. The first game was what? It was a linear kind of pass, and honestly, it's pretty. I don't mind the linear pass, but I really like the open world, especially with a Souls-like game. I feel like it works really well for this kind of thing, and I'm really glad that they decided to do open world, because like you can just take the game, you can just take the pace wherever you want with the game and go back and forth, and even like discovering certain things in certain time periods, I thought was actually a really cool step. But you know, that's just something I know not a lot of people are not gonna probably like that, because they want everything in one pass, but I think it opens the door to do more things, and it's like, okay, so I have to go to this place at this time. And like if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, like Mortal Kombat Deception did this, where you can only do certain things at certain times of the day. So I kind of really like the idea of doing something like that, right? So the open world is really cool. Like even the dungeons and like the fights that you can get, like it's just so awesome, bro. Like I'm getting jumped right now. But yeah, I really like the exploring, and then even like the mechanics. Like, why am I constantly getting cursed? I think it's because I have the cursed greatsword as my secondary weapon. I keep getting cursed. Alright, guy. Oh, come on. Hurry, baby. Yeah, like on my neck, bro. Let me just kill these enemies real quick. And we'll get back to talking about these. Let me whoop my ass for a second. But I gotta get rid of these. Scale up real quick. Okay, yeah, but like I was saying, like I really like the stuff you can find in the open world, and like it really seems like they really upped up the stuff that you can do. Because obviously in the original Code Vein, they had these things. They weren't called jails. They were just like they were what you used to drain. I'm gonna be honest, the first game I rarely used that. I didn't use the draining as much as I do in this game. But I kind of want to talk about like the actual new mechanics they have to the game, because like they have the offensive, defensive, jails, and then your blood code. Obviously, blood code's returning. The more you use the blood code, you get it with the companion, and the companion will give you a new one every time you upgrade it to max, which is cool. Then we have the offensive ones. I don't really use the bow one. I'm trying to use this one for I use the greatsword, so I have some kind of like long range ability. But the main ones I've been using was the hammer, and then this one right here, the absolute executioner. This weapon is so cool, especially against the last boss. Like this thing was so cool to just use and just wield it. It's like, bro, it just like, and it just keeps hitting them for like 10 times. So it's a really good way to stagger the bosses, which I think is like really awesome, especially if you're using like a greatsword. But like then we have like what, the defensive one, where I really like the bracer here. I'm able to just parry bosses. It can't parry every attack, but it's a really cool thing to be able to do. And then like you have the actual regular guards where where is it, the bleeding shield, depending on like whichever one. But like dude, this shield is just so awesome, bro. Like it helped me survive one of the bosses, because like they kept killing me from afar because they kept shooting me and I couldn't get to them. So until I swapped to this, and then the boss fight became way easier. So like having different abilities and stuff like that to use different encounters is like definitely a key thing. You can't just power through it with one type of build. Like you got to constantly switch it up, because their bosses in this game are just so well designed, and they don't feel like they're the same, you know what I mean? Because like some games also have the same kind of mechanics. I really like how some of the bosses have a very different types of fighting styles. Even like the open world kind of like raid bosses you find around the map, like I really like that. I really like the idea of the open world where just you can run into boss fights and just have fun. Even when you're not doing the story, you can just go around beating things up. So the actual story itself, I was gonna talk about in this video, but then I kind of figured it's too early to talk about it, just because like the game just came out, like, you know, technically a few days ago for the people who didn't pre-order the game. So like I'm gonna wait on that. There were some cons in the game, I will say. Like for example, the multiplayer, I didn't find an option where you could invite people. I don't think that's a thing in this game. I think I remember someone saying that no multiplayer was planned for the game. It's just to be a single player game, which is a bit disappointing, because like, you know, that's one of my favorite things to go around playing with friends with Soul Vein. But hopefully maybe one day they'll add it, and just after, if enough people talk about it, we'll see. But like I really like I mean the campaign itself is they're really good. I think one thing that I really want to touch on too in terms of cons is that the boss AI seems a little broken, because like you'll have your ally will just constantly be hammering them and they will not take their attention away. Like the boss will still just hard focus you and you can't do nothing. You have to just run, parry, or block. And like you're trying to heal while your companion is going to fight them, and you just can't do it. It's just, they just keep focusing you. It's just a weird thing, especially if you're playing with a companion. But in this game, you don't have to play with companion, because like you have options to house the companion inside you, and you get stat buffs based on like which character it is, which I think is like kind of a cool thing. So if you want to play like just like without a companion, you can just house them in your body and stuff like that. I'm not sure if there's a way you can completely take them off the team. I haven't really tried looking for it. I'm not really trying that hard for to beat these bosses, but maybe we'll do something like that for videos and stuff. But yeah, so I just really thought it was a cool kind of thing that they added, so you can play solo, or if you want to play with your companion, in terms of the multiplayer stuff. So like, yeah, there's some cons that you can't play multiplayer, but you have a companion, it does well enough, and they give really good buffs while you're fighting. So another thing too is the weapon upgrading system. I feel like they don't do a great job of explaining how exactly to get certain materials and stuff like that. Like I found out after the halfway point of the game that if you buy certain cards from the minions, that they also unlock it for the main upgrader at the home base. I forget, Jawiga, I forget what her name is. It's a really weird name. So, you know, that's something I feel like they could have explained a little bit better. But like they do have options, so even throughout the different time periods where you can go and upgrade your weapons with the actual people. Let's see if I can find one for you guys real quick. This is the one nearby me. No, but I think there's one here. Yeah, okay, so these guys are here. Let's go talk to them real quick. So you guys, I can explain like kind of what's going on here with these minions. So with these guys, they have an option to, you can buy things from them. Obviously, like there's all the things you can buy, and this is the card I'm talking about. You get the card. The actual Jawiga shop has the Tender Crimson Stone 1 and the Pure Platinum 1. So it's good to get these cards so you can get these automatically open for the actual main shop. And then obviously they can upgrade weapons, forma, your jail, They can transform your equipment too. They do everything John Wick does, like just in an open world, which is pretty cool. I like that aspect of it. Just sometimes when you're in a dungeon, you really can't upgrade your weapon without going out of the dungeon. Which, I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal, honestly, if you're just more aware of what you're doing with your weapons and stuff like that. The only thing I do have an issue, kind of like wish they would change, is that you being able to upgrade or change your formas, because like you have to go into the actual Mistral in order to not duplicate, but go to your weapon, you click on your weapon, and then you have the 4 options to select whichever formas you want. Like there's no way to do this in an open world outside of the Mistrals, which is a little annoying. I don't know why they changed that, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they have a decent amount of Mistrals, so it's not that big of a deal, but it can be annoying, especially like certain times when you go to a boss fight. They don't have these. They have these resurrection kind of things where it can resurrect you, but you can't change your abilities, which is a little tedious, a little annoying, but it is what it is. It's not like a huge con. It's just like, I guess it's being more aware of what you're doing. That's pretty much the gist of it. I just found that for certain situations, a little tedious, but it is what it is. And then like, I know a lot of people complain about the 4 slots here, but like if you change weapons, you have another 4 slots, and the power-ups go on both weapons. You see, like the great sword has the fire ability and the regular sword has a great ability. I think this is a really good change. You know, being able to power up a weapon and then like not having to power up again with the same type of forma. I think that's really cool. So like technically you still have 8 slots. You just it's just a little different. You don't have it on one weapon. Now you have to use 2 weapons to power up your weapon. And like for me, the second weapon is just to hold the 4 slots for me. Because I don't really change it too much, because obviously you have to change the forma, you have to change the blood code, everything like that to fit that particular build that you're doing, if that makes sense. But I don't know, like I really enjoyed this game in the last week, and I'm definitely planning on making videos. Maybe might do some boss fights or some stuff that like I find it was hard for me to find, and maybe do something like that. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the whole Code Vein 2 and just your experience with the game, some of the things you like, some things you don't like, some things you wish that you would change. Just let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm gonna have some more Code Vein videos this week. We'll see what we decide to do, but until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.